Chapter 2. The seed of hunger. 3 days had passed since the 6 boys vanished. The village searched every street, every alley, every inch of forest. Posters were taped on lampposts, prayers whispered at dawn and dusk, but no one dared step near the old school, not even the parents. It was as if some primal fear had been reawakened. As if something deep in their blood remembered the last time this had happened, 15 years ago. And now again, but on the fourth night, something changed. Hassan came back. He walked down the middle of the village road just before sunrise, barefoot, clothes torn, skin raw and bitten in places, some fresh, some healed in unnatural ways. His eyes were distant, as if he wasn't fully himself. His mother screamed when she saw him. She ran to him, held him, cried into his shoulder, but Hassan didn't hug her back. He simply whispered, "It's growing inside me." They rushed him to the hospital. He didn't resist. He didn't speak again, not for hours. The doctors were baffled. His body was showing signs of extreme malnutrition, but his blood was thicker, almost gel-like. His heartbeat was slower than normal. His skin was healing faster than it should. And then they noticed something worse. Underneath his skin, especially around the stomach and arms, were tiny movements, like something crawling beneath the flesh. That night, as the nurse stepped in to check on him, she found Hassan chewing on his shoulder, his mouth covered in dark blood, his eyes fully black. She screamed. Doctors rushed in, but Hassan was still completely still, sitting on the floor. He looked up and said, "It's okay, I'm feeding it, it's hungry." They sedated him, but his words spread like wildfire, and in the darkness of the old school, 5 other shadows moved beneath the floorboards, the others. They hadn't returned, but they were still there, feeding, growing, the journal. A week later, a retired teacher named Mr. Kemal came forward with a journal, old, moldy, written in shaky handwriting. "I used to teach at that school. Back before it was closed," he said, voice trembling. I shouldn't have stayed silent. He opened the journal. Inside were entries from a boy named Samir, a student from 15 years ago, the first outbreak. Samir wrote about a game the children had learned from someone in the basement of the school. A man with no eyes, a man who smelled like iron and rot, who whispered that there was something inside all of us, something divine but trapped, and to set it free. We must eat away the shell. The flesh is the prison. The body is the cage. Every bite brings us closer to the God within. Samir described how it started with hunger, unnatural hunger, and then came visions, rooms that didn't exist, voices that hummed in unison, walls that bled, and then one day the children turned on themselves. The school was shut down, the truth buried, but whatever was awakened then never left. The seed grows. Back in the hospital, Hassan had stopped speaking. He simply stared at the ceiling, whispering to himself, fingers twitching. But one nurse noticed something horrifying. Where Hassan had bitten himself days ago, his shoulder, something was growing back, but it wasn't normal skin. It looked like teeth, tiny, white, sharp teeth forming in a perfect circle, a new mouth. They tried to operate to remove it, but when the scalpel touched it, it bit the surgeon's hand. Hassan began to laugh, a laugh that wasn't his voice. It was layered, deep, ancient, inhuman. "I told you. It's growing. One day we'll all remember what we are." The final entry. One stormy night, Hassan vanished from the hospital. No broken doors, no windows shattered, only blood-stained footprints leading back toward the school, and painted on the hospital wall in blood were the words, "We are not sick, we are awakening." The school remains closed, but the villagers whisper of figures they see at night near its windows, children, or what used to be children, watching silently. The other boys were never found, but every once in a while, a child in the village will wake up screaming, with bite marks on their arms and no memory of how they got there. The hunger is spreading, and one day it will reach the cities. Then the world, because the God inside us all is starving,